Hey guys, welcome to another new episode today. Today I'm gonna be talking about money. Mula. Anyways, today we're gonna be talking about a different type of stress, and I'm focusing on the financial stress. Considering that it's been one of a hell of a year since 2019 when COVID-19 started, till now people have been going through financial stress a lot, and I'll take this opportunity to try and discuss about financial stress so as to help individuals out there to be able to manage stress, financial stresses out there, and also to prepare for them if they come at any point of their lives. So thank you for joining the Myles show today. I'm your host, Myles Gicheru, and hope you enjoy today's episode. So let's begin. I'll first start with try to explain what financial stress is, and I define financial stress as anxiety-driven stress resulting from financial events in a person's life. Generally, it occurs around major life events such as maybe buying, maybe like something like a home, or maybe a loss of income, especially right now. Because for example, when COVID-19 came in, and there was about people working from home, so many people were left unemployed, and that we can call like a financial stress, because you do not know where you're going to get your next income from. Because, for example, like in places like hotels, hotels were closed down at that moment. So the chefs, the waiters, they were told to go home, and definitely most of these business owners, they don't pay you when there's no business, because they say that there's no money, so they cannot pay you. So that's an example of how financial stress may occur during that time. So we can also look at what brings about financial stress, and this one I can start with lack of knowledge about money. For example, if you do not have knowledge of how to save money, of how to to create money for yourself, to create an income for yourself, can bring a lot of financial stress. With this I mean, in school we are not taught about money. There's little information about financial education in school system. For example, in school we are not taught how to make money. So there's very little offered in the workplace. So many people have to learn from friends and family, but that creates its own set of problems, because many of them don't have a knowledge, ability, or resources to teach others about money. That one you should understand also. So if you do not have knowledge about money and how to create wealth for yourself, you'll definitely have financial stress, because you may just be spending. I always say that living in a life of autopilot. The moment you get the salary, you just pay bills, you do this and do this, that's it, nothing else out of the ordinary. So that can be one of the reasons, one of the causes of financial stress. Also, low saving rate. If you don't have the culture of saving at all, and even saving very less, you end up having strain when it comes to finances in your life. There's usually about 50, 30, 20 of how you should use your income. 50 you use it on yourself, 30 you save, and then 20 now you can use it for for entertainment and buy yourself stuff. So you should have like a procedure whereby you have a saving culture, have a continuous saving culture, so as to be able to to have, so that cases whereby you lose your job, for example, at least you have some money that can sustain you. Remember also some things like medical finances. You spend a lot on medical finances, okay? So most of your income might go to medical, and also food, shelter, and all that. But when you have a culture of saving, at least you can be able to secure for emergency funds rather. Also, high debt levels. Most, if not all, most people get debts or loans. You go for loans. So it's quite important that you minimize on the debts and the high levels of of debts for yourself, because when now you start paying them, you won't have anything for yourself. You won't be able to sustain yourself as an individual. The problem with debt is it's fueled by consumption. The more you borrow, the more you consume, the more you use. So if you control your debt, it's okay to have help here and there, but minimize on it, especially if you check on the interest rate that they are going to gain from it once they give you the loan. Really important, because you don't want to strain yourself so much. Okay, which also I thought I should also look at how to reveal yourself from financial stress. And this, I'll start with the most important, with the people around you, and that is seek advice from people who have financial wisdom. For example, maybe your friends and family. Ask, always have a culture of asking. Ask for advice, especially for someone who maybe has made wise decision about their finances. They are doing well in life. They can really help. They can give you a few knowledge of what you should do when it comes to managing your finances. Also, be responsible when spending. Don't just spend anyhowly your money. Have a way to spend your money. Have a way to actually be able to save through spending. Like, don't just buy things for the sake of buying. Buy things because you need them, because they will help you. That will be a good way to relieve yourself from financial stress. Also, make a budget. A budget is really important, so that you can know where your money is going to. You have a budget of, okay, this one is going for housing, this one goes for medical, this one goes for food, this one goes for like that. And then the little you have, you can spend or you can save it. So as to, because if you do not have a budget, you'll just spend money anyhowly and you don't know how much per month you spend. So that one will relieve so much stress for you, because in this month you might have a lot of money, in the next month you might have nothing at all. So have a budget. Use money according to according to what you need. What you need, the necessities, not because you just want to spend. Okay, think of having funds for emergency situations. That's really important. For example, the example I just gave about COVID-19 coming and people being fired from their workplaces. You see, for the next maybe 3 months, people are not having jobs, and that's a very big financial stress. But if you have a culture saving mindset, it will safeguard you in situations whereby you're fired. You never know what your boss might think the next morning, especially in private owned companies. One day the company might decide, we have decided to let you go, and you cannot refuse to go. You can be fired then, and then what will happen? What will happen the next few months? Will you sustain yourself, or you will start borrowing money from people? So to avoid such situation, have an emergency savings for funds for yourself, just in case of anything. Even in some situations, but God forbid, but sometimes people will fall sick, and you might find yourself spending a lot of money on health. So as to avoid that, have savings for that, and also get yourself some insurance so as to be able to safeguard your health, to be able to pay for some things that you might spend a lot when it comes to that day. And also another thing, that have set realistic goals. With this, depending on how much you earn, that's how you should spend. Okay, if for example, if maybe you are, if you are earning maybe 40,000 per month, it does not make sense when you go and live in a house that is 20,000 per month. See, that one will be straining yourself, because also in terms of maybe even where you live might be a far place, maybe a place whereby the livelihood is high, so you'll be straining yourself so much just because you want to live in a certain culture or lifestyle that maybe at that moment you cannot afford. So set realistic goals, and also use your money wisely. It's very important. Okay. Also, another thing that I saw is that financial health can really affect your personal health. Poor financial health can have a devastating ripple effect. It may bring about stress and anxiety, which may be visible in physical symptoms such as lack of sleep, increased high blood pressure, heart problems, lack of maybe for those who maybe when they have stress they don't eat, you start cutting weight. For those maybe they have a high tendency of being a stress eater, you start gaining weight, you start abusing alcohol, such things. So mental health issues such as depression can also arise when facing financial fears are present. Remember, sometimes anxiety leads to depression. So when you're having anxiety during that financial crisis you're experiencing, it may lead to depression, and that's really bad, because with that now to be helped it will be very difficult, because you might start abusing drugs, like I've said, you might start drinking. So financial health can really affect your health as an individual. So you should really take care of your financial health, and that's by having a budget, and that's by being able to control your spending, and also being able to avoid being in a situation whereby you'll have financial stress. Okay, last but not least, can financial stress cause anxiety? Yes, just like I've explained in the previous topic I've just said, it can cause anxiety in the mind. Yes, it can cause anxiety is in the mind and the body reaction to stressful, dangerous, or unfamiliar situations. So whenever you are wondering where will you be able to get the next coin, the next meal, that's anxiety building up on you. You're very afraid of that tonight you might sleep hungry, tonight you might be kicked out by your landlord because you haven't paid the rent. So that anxiety, that financial stress can lead to anxiety and can lead to a worse problem, disorder, and that is depression. And right now mental issue is really something that is draining all of us in this society. So having financial stress of which you can try and avoid by planning yourself, that will be the first step. By planning yourself, try and plan yourself so as not to be able to get anxiety and to lead to depression and to other health issues that are physically seen, like high blood pressure, to be avoided. So yes, so that's what I had about financial stress today, and the advice that I'm going to give, just to sum up real quick, is that always have a plan. I'll keep on emphasizing about this. Have a plan, make a budget, live according to how you are. Don't chase the lifestyle that you are not able to afford at this moment. Okay, don't buy such an expensive shoes and they're not financially stable. Okay, do not go to some crazy ass forgive my language, but don't go for some crazy adventure while you know that you're financially not stable. I'm not saying that you should be hard on yourself. Don't spend on yourself. Travel the world, enjoy yourself, but have a plan for it. You can actually even save money and then travel later. Okay, you just gather yourself and spend on things that you need at that moment. And the things that you need, it's food, clothes, shelter, and your health is really important. Those are the things that your finances should be going at a maximum at this point, and then the rest will come once you have saved enough for it. So thank you for joining us today at the Myles Show. That was a very wonderful topic I was really enjoying discussing, because financial stress has been there, especially for our young men out there, for our young generation out there, because they've been trying to spend money and trying to uplift themselves, even in trying to build businesses, especially right now that there is this culture of self-employment. You have to have a way to work on your finances, because you don't want to be spending on things that won't boost you at the end. Thank you so much and have a lovely day. Remember to like, subscribe, and share our videos. Here with you, it's Myles Gicheru. And thank you for supporting the Myles Show. Be blessed and have a good weekend. Thank you.